Good morning, fourth grade. We are going to continue reading in our novel, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon. Today we have a quick write. It says, what are you most thankful for and why? Press pause to silently write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. Our focus question for today is, how has Min Lee's definition of fortune changed since the beginning of her journey? How many people on Min Lee's journey changed her mind? Our vocabulary words for today are unyielding. That's when someone is not going to change their mind. They're being stubborn. And this is an example of a donkey being unyielding. He's not going with his owner. The next word is gratitude. That is the quality of being thankful or showing appreciation. And we have this little child giving thanks. And then the last word is protest. That's when you object to something. You disagree with something. Turn the page, and we're in chapter 45, page 256. And as we're reading, we're going to be using our CSPS strategy. I'm at page 256. The dragon waited. Mornings rose, nights fell, but he did not move from the bridge. Every night the stars filled the sky like snowflakes falling on black stone, and then melted away as the sun mounted. When the snow rose, the red strings on the bridge melted into the sky, and the bridge seemed to disappear, only showing itself again at night. A stinging wind blew in the silver mist, and the cold rock was hard and unyielding. Still, the dragon waited. We'll stop right there because we have a good picture in our minds of the setting. We know the dragon is waiting for Min Lee, and it says here, but on the third night. So we know he's at least waiting for 3 days. So in box 2A, we would write, dragon waits for Min Lee for 3 days on Never-Ending Mountain. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, we will write this down on page 256. Mornings rose, nights fell, but he did not move from the bridge. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. We're at the bottom of page 256. But on the third night, just as the moon began to slip down in the sky, the dragon saw a faint figure on the bridge. With a joyous roar, the dragon jumped up and the figure became clearer and clearer. Min Lee, you're back, dragon shouted. Did you see him? Did you ask the old man of the moon my question? Yes, Min Lee laughed as she hugged the dragon. I asked him and he answered, so now I know how you can fly. How? Dragon asked. Min Lee climbed onto Dragon's back with both hands and she clenched the stone ball above his head. Take a deep breath, she said to him, and with a jerk that took all her strength, she yanked the ball off his head. Ouch! Dragon yelped. But then he began to smile. I feel so light, he said, so light and peaceful. And the old man of the moon said, you would not be able to fly until the ball was removed from your head, Min Lee told him. He said it weighed you down. It was, Dragon laughed, and Min Lee clutched his neck with her spare arm as he rose into the air. We'll stop right there because we know something about our characters, Dragon and Min Lee. And in box 1A, we would write down, Dragon waited for Min Lee, and she took the ball off his head so he could fly. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, we would write, yes, Min Lee laughed as she hugged the dragon. I asked him and he answered, so now I know how you can fly. Press pause to write down your answer in box 1 and play when you're ready to keep reading. We're at the bottom of page 257. The wind seemed to join their whoop of laughter and sweep them up into the sky as the dragon flew for the first time. The silver clouds embraced them and parted as the dragon flew through, turned the page, as if he were rippling the sky. The pale moon looked as if it were smiling at them with a soft glow. As they skimmed the stars, Minli closed her eyes with delight. As they returned to the ground, the dragon asked, "What about you? Did the old man of the moon tell you how to change your fortune?" Minli was silent. Dragon turned to look at her. "What happened?" he said. "He did not tell you?" "I didn't ask," Minli said. "I was only allowed one question." "What?" the dragon said. "You need to know. You have come all this way. We will fly back and you can ask him." Before Minli could utter a protest, the red cord bridge seemed to shriek, and as they turned to look at it, the bamboo stakes began to rip the ground, leaving ugly slashes on the bridge. It was dragged away from the land. The bridge jerked violently. The bamboo supports clattered as it was pulled up into the darkness. "The old man of the moon will not see me again," Minli said. "He won't answer any question for another 99 years. And we'll stop right there because we have the problem. We know that Minli could only ask one question, so now she doesn't know how to change her family's fortune. In box 3A, we would write, Minli could only ask one question, so she doesn't know how to change her family's fortune. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, we will write this down in the middle of page 258. "I didn't ask," Minli said. "I was only allowed one question." Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. Top of page 259. "But you," the dragon sputtered, "your fortune, your parents." "It's all right," Minli told him. "When it was time for me to choose, I suddenly saw I didn't have to ask." "You did not?" the dragon said. "No," Minli said, and suddenly memories rushed through her. She heard the buffalo boy's laughter as he refused her money, saw the king's generous smile as he willingly parted with his family's treasure, and remembered Da'afu's last words to her. "Why would you want to change our fortune?" they had said. She had shaken her head in confusion then, but now, finally, Minli understood all of it. Fortune was not a house full of gold and jade, but something much more. Suddenly, she already had and did not need to change. "I didn't ask the question," Minli said again and smiled, "because I don't need to know the answer." And we have our solution. Minli realizes that she doesn't need to know the answer for her fortune because she realizes fortune is something she already has. Okay, so in box 4A, we would write down, Minli realizes she does not need to know the answer because she already has her fortune. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, we would say this quote in the middle of page 259. "Fortune is not a house full of gold and jade, but something much more, something she already had and did not need to change." Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the paragraph. And for the paragraph, it says, "How do Minli and Dragon feel as they travel back towards Fruitless Mountain and the Jade River?" So how are Dragon and Minli feeling right now after they have met with the old man of the moon?